Hello and welcome to this edition of Intelligent Video Today. I'm your host, Steve Vonderhaar. Joining us on today's episode, Jordan Owens, Chief Technology of the Americas for Pexip. Welcome, Jordan.
Hey, thanks so much, Steve. Really excited to be here. Thanks for having me, and certainly looking forward to the conversation.
Absolutely. Pexip has long been a standard bearer in the realm of video meetings, but you've been evolving the company just like all video vendors in recent years. Tell us a little bit about what Pexip is all about today.
Yeah, for sure. So, to your point, we've evolved pretty heavily over the years, but at the same time, I think we're sticking core to what we've done from the beginning. And today, we represent that by focusing on what we call two key business areas. The first one, what we've dubbed connected spaces, is this idea of any to any. How do we help an organization dial into any meeting from any vendor using the singular systems that they have within their own estate? Think of this as I want to use my Cisco video conferencing systems to dial into a Microsoft Teams meeting, or I want to use my Poly devices to dial into a Google Meet conference, or whatever the case may be. We're now evolving that conversation pretty substantially to support what these modern meeting endpoints, or things like Microsoft Teams rooms dialing into third-party meeting services, or Zoom rooms dialing into Microsoft Teams meetings and all that type of stuff. Again, the whole idea behind this part of our business is how do we allow users to dial into any meeting from any device, and yet they get the full feature set that they expect to have on that device. So it feels very familiar and very similar to the way that they use it every single day. The
So,
second main area. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. You're going to start talking about security and its role for Pexip moving forward.
You hit the nail on the head, my friend. So the second main area of focus for us is this idea of secure, what we call secure and custom. This is really all about helping our customers enable the most secure meetings within their own environment. Whether those are internal meetings where they're talking about super secret squirrel stuff, or they're looking at top secret stuff in classified environments, or whether it's external meetings in a B2C type of a context. How do we help our customers enable video as a part of their normal business workflow and give them complete control over their data, complete control over access into that meeting to ensure the right person joins the right meeting at the right time, while giving the organization complete protection over the meeting itself as well?
So give us a little more color on what you mean by a secure platform. Is that something that you're deploying on premises in a private cloud, or is it something else altogether?
Yeah, it's typically those that are deployed inside of a customer's own security environment. That's more the way we classify it, rather than exactly where it's hosted. Now, to us, this could be done on-prem, could be done in a private cloud where the customer's hosting it within their own compute environment, or within their own hyperscaler environment, or whatever the case may be. The third kind of main area that we have is we can host it on behalf of that customer inside of a private cloud. The idea around this is, again, to give that customer complete control over the environment, complete control over their own data as well, so that they don't have to worry about leakage or additional attack vectors or anything along those lines with regards to where that data sits and who has access to that data as well. So again, it's less about really where it's deployed, and it's a lot more about control. How do we give customers that control, that manageability over the environment, so they can deliver the services to their users without having to sacrifice security, sacrifice compliance associated with that workflow?
So security is always a buzzword for folks, but what are some applications for ultra secure meeting platforms? It sounds so spy novelty, and
Well,
it's really what are you seeing your customers use it as?
in some respects, you're not wrong, right? I mean, there certainly are the use cases within departments of defense and really air-gapped environments, customers that need software where it can't reach or can't talk to the public internet in any way, shape, or form. This is really all about whether it's forward deployed, or it's even internal communications, but they need it, they need to run it, and they need to operate it within those true air-gapped environments. But to be fair, it goes way beyond, the super secret squirrel stuff, right? And it goes into even enterprise use applications. One, you think about utilities. What happens when a utility is under attack? How do they sever all access to the internet and bring all of their communications internal so that they can work in a triage type of a mode? Or you look at merger and acquisition talk, board meetings, any meetings where you're sharing the most secret, the most confidential information within an organization. How do we give the organization more protection, more control over their data itself? Those are R&D acquisition or R&D discussions, intellectual property discussions, like I mentioned earlier, mergers and acquisition discussions, all of those types of environments where that customer, where the information is really what needs to be protected, less so about the meeting itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely makes a huge ton of sense. And actually, when you look at all AI applications as it relates to the enterprise, security is the big catchphrase. Everyone is looking at AI, but security becomes one of those stumbling blocks that keeps enterprises from actually implementing some AI solutions. Now, you folks are working pretty hand in glove with the folks in NVIDIA to
Absolutely.
help create more secure platforms, more secure applications. Tell us, walk us through how you're partnering to make AI applications more secure in the enterprise.
Absolutely. So it's, there's no secret that NVIDIA is really the engine behind a lot of the AI development that's happening around the world today, whether you're looking at large language models or whether you're looking at Gen AI or whatever the case may be. A lot of that is ultimately running directly on top of NVIDIA. And Pexip's AI solution is no different. Where it is different and where we are approaching the world through a different lens is through this same idea of control and manageability. We want to deploy AI in such a way that it gives customers complete control of the environment as well. Pexip's one of the only organizations globally that is ultimately going to deliver AI as a self-hostable application so that customers can take it and they can deploy it on-prem, they can deploy it inside of their own cloud environment, they can deploy it inside of their own hyperscaler environment, and they will maintain complete control of the entire AI model. What workflows have access to AI? What meetings have access to AI? And how do we process that AI in a secret, in a controlled, in a confidential manner, such that they maintain complete authorization and authentication of that AI itself, right? So again, you go back to this whole secure meetings concept where customers have control of the meeting. They now not only have control of the meeting, but they have control of the AI model as well and how those two integrate together. So we're really excited about this new engine that we're going to be releasing very, very soon.
And you're calling this engine Media Server, is that right?
The AI media server, exactly, or AIMS. You might hear, if you talk to us in other regards, you might hear us call it as AIMS, but fundamentally, Steve, to your point, it's the AI media server. Absolutely.
So, what kind of things you're going to be able to do with the AI Media Server once it's implemented?
The first release for us is really going to be focused on this idea of live captioning. It is going to have multi-language support, but really it's all about when I dial into a meeting, how do I press a button and how do I have the audio be converted into a text stream so that I can either have a confidence monitor or, quite frankly, if I'm hard of hearing and need some assistive support, how do I get that text stream to show up so I know exactly what's being talked about? But that's just the beginning for us, right? That is the first in a long journey of features that we want to bring out into market with that AI media server. And we're soon going to be moving into this idea of multi-language support, even live language translation that we're going to have within the AI media server to allow customers to be able to support multiple workflows whilst and supporting multiple people with multiple languages all in the same meeting, and yet letting them converse naturally as if they all spoke the same language.
Now, when we've talked before, you've kind of spoken of the concept that AI Media Server gives enterprises a new way to consume Pexip. Can you expand a little more on what you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. This is, again, really comes down to this whole idea of information flow, of information workflow, and information control. People have been consuming us primarily as a video engine. That's been happening in the 12 years that we've existed as a company. This is really taking that a step further, though, and giving us the ability to embed video directly within company workflows. Whether you're looking at it in terms of departments of defense who need video and then need additional capabilities and support associated with that, whether you look at it in terms of healthcare applications, this whole concept of broad embedding of video into workflows is really a new capability that we're bringing out to the table. And in order for us to truly be able to support and augment that capability, we need AI at the backbone of it, because video is just a part of the conversation in this case, and AI will help augment that capability to provide that those additional features, that additional support to be able to enable multiple people to dial into video that wouldn't have been able to take advantage of it in the first place.
Man, that's right up the alley of everything we talk about when we talk about the intelligent video ecosystem. So very
Totally.
eager to see the release of the product. What's the timetable for bringing this to a broad availability?
We should be able to launch beta before the end of June. So just coming up, I guess, in just a few weeks' time now. We then expect first full V1 to be released in market before the end of the summer. We'll then immediately start marching down the version 2, version 3 path. We expect to get version 2 out later this year. Version 3 will come out next year, and then we will continue iterating on top of it as time goes on as well. So we're right around the corner, and we're excited.
So that tells us a little bit about the immediate AI steps that Pexip is taking. But let's take a step back and look over the 3 to 5 year time horizon. How do you see the integration of AI impacting the types of capabilities Pexip is able to offer, say, over the long haul?
Well, first and foremost, I think it makes sense for us to explain our development philosophy, right? I mean, Pexip's development organization and the way that we approach products and product development as a whole is not really about this creating a sexy demo or releasing features just for the sake of releasing features. We want to work on functionality and on features that actually matter to our customers. We want to bring capabilities out into the market that our customers are asking for. So a lot of the work that we do, a lot of the development that we take on is customer driven, and we look forward to releasing the product so that we can take on that customer feedback and then work with them to be able to embed it directly into the product. That said, we have a long list of things that we want to bring out into the market, right? We've already talked already about the live captioning capability. We've talked already about live translation capability. We want to bring speech to speech translation capability out into the product as well. So if you only spoke Spanish and I only spoke German, we could still converse as though we were natively speaking each other's language with minimal impact to the real-time part of the call. We're then looking a step further into how can we also affect other real-time media capabilities, whether that's things around gaze correction, whether that's things around continuing to improve the audio and the video flow directly within a meeting. These are capabilities that we think that we can bring out that can really affect these secure meeting conversations where you can't rely on things like high bandwidth or high compute available down to the individual end user. How can we augment that capability with server-side AI so that we can bring these additional capabilities into market? I don't want to get into too many of the details, just to be clear. I mean, these are things that we're still working through. And not only do I want to not lead you down the wrong or to lead you down the wrong direction, but I also want to keep a little bit to ourselves as well, so that we can bring those announcements out into the market when we're ready. So stay tuned, though. We are really, really excited about the capabilities we're going to be bringing out very shortly.
So many paths are open to video technology vendors thanks to AI. It's really going to be a fun next 3 to 5 years from a product development perspective. Jordan Owens from Pexip, thanks so much for taking the time and sharing your insight on the intelligent video market. It's been great to have you.
Been great being here, Steve. I really appreciate you having me.
And that's all the time we have for this edition of Intelligent Video today. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to access to future episodes of our series, please go to the link right down below there. Subscribe to the Intelligent Video Today channel on YouTube to get access to more insight from industry thought leaders like Jordan Owens. For Intelligent Research, I'm Steve Underhar. Thanks for your time.